All right, guys, it's Paul Singh, the Market Speculator, with the trade report for Monday, October 9, 2017. Hope everyone had a great weekend. Let's take a look at how the weekend ended here in SPY. Fantastic week. We're in all-time highs now, getting extended. The best thing here would be for the market to consolidate some, maybe even pull back. Let's watch today. Usually I set a price target towards a high that would be good. I don't think we need that this week because we're so extended. Let's just get some consolidation. Let's get a hold in the 9. So that's going to be the key for this week. If we can hold the 9, earnings season starts to get underway this week. We're going to start scanning for earnings breakouts and breakdowns, but it'll start off slow. So basically towards the end of the week, we have some banks that are reporting. So that's going to really obviously impact financials. So we will watch financials very closely, which are extended. So if the news is not good, then they could get a big hit. And I think if the news is good, they don't travel quite as far because they're already so extended, but they probably would get still a little bit of a pop. But looking at SPY here again, we're extended. We want to see the hold of the 9. If it keeps going, then it keeps going. IWM, pretty much the same thing in terms of how extended it is. It looks ready to pull back. The key is going to be, does it hold? The 9 is so close, we could even break the 9 and say, you know, does it hold maybe the 146 to 147 range? So we're going to pull back that deep would be all right. And then obviously if it breaks 150, that would be fantastic. The Qs have lagged a little bit, but big tech is coming back and we have broke to highs here. 147. Let's see if we get the hold of the old high and the 9 for the Qs as well. Let's look at some sectors here. Financials. You can see they're extended here. This is going to be key for how they react to earnings. I think Wells Fargo and Bank of America is this week. I haven't looked up Goldman Sachs yet, but they report around the same time. So if Goldman Sachs is not this week, it'd probably be early next. Housing here, very extended. We still have those housing stocks on our list, but really tough to enter when we've had this type of move. Semiconductors on fire. Brazil pulling back, which is expected the way it's run. This thing could pull back. Ideally, what I would love is a pullback to the old high, which corresponds with the 50. If it could pull back and hold that level and then start to bounce, that would be a good entry for us. So let's watch for that. Otherwise, we stay away from Brazil. And then China pulling back a little bit here as well. Oil getting hit, and we'll watch to see if it holds that 50. And then energy here has held up better than oil, which is obviously good for us in this range here, trying to get back up over the 50-day moving average. And then gold popping a little bit, and while the market hasn't really gotten hit that hard. So maybe this is a little bit of an indicator that the market is going to pull back some. So we'll watch gold very closely. I've added JNUG to our focus list, and why don't we let's get to current positions first. Sina is consolidating here right at the 9. Obviously we want to hold and bounce here. Facebook looking really nice. I think about 2 points from our entry, and at this point getting close to 173. My target is going to be at least 175.50, maybe higher, all the way up to 180 with big tech bouncing back here. So Facebook is looking good, and then DO closed right at our entry level and kind of a wide range pre-market, but we'll see how that one holds up. The pattern is still there. Pattern's still looking good. Now to the focus list. Start with Netflix here. Has been on fire. We want to see it pull back to the old high right around 190, maybe even break a little lower than that and see how it tests the 9. So those two ranges would get us into Netflix if it held. Snapchat, really good here. Bottoming formation, holding that 50-day moving average. I think you got an entry right here if you're looking to enter. SOXL extended but looking good. I think I like SOXL better than a lot of the semiconductor stocks themselves. 2 Chinas, Baidu and Baba. We're already in Sina, so I think I've got enough China right now. Amazon also very strong here. A lot of news has been coming out with different things they're doing, and it's up over the 50-day moving average. Google here as well, and Google's got some new stuff coming in, so we're going to watch it. Getting back up to that 1,000 level after taking this big dip close to 900. Now, if it breaks the old high, that would set it up, I think, for the next big run, because we've basically had 4 or 5 months of consolidation now, which really sets it up for another run. So I really like Google here at 993. Yelp looking really good as an internet content stock and is at highs right now. I'd probably want a little bit of a pullback. SEDG, solar, holding up really nicely. Race, still holding the 50, did bounce down a little bit on Friday. I was looking for a break of 115. And then WTW, that's not right, Twitter, WTW, holding that 50 and 9 after consolidating the old high for a few weeks here. Two sectors I really like right now, but are a bit extended. Housing, which we've talked about, and we can look at LGIH and BZH. These are the smaller low float stocks that tend to be a little more volatile. They can pull back harder, but they can also make bigger gains. And then you have the DHIs, the Lennars, and the Toll Brothers, which are all extended as well. And then airlines. Haven't traded an airline stock in a while, but you can see pretty much the same pattern. UAL, this one's coming off a bottom, but has moved from about 57 to 65. And then AAL, American Airlines, very similar pattern here, but closer to its highs. Again, we need to see some consolidation here and save. We're going to start watching, which is more of a bottoming formation, a lower float stock. Gets up over, we'll say, this high here, around 36.35. That could really set it up, and there's a lot of room to the upside. So that's what we're looking at to start the week. We'll see what earnings, how that impacts the market and financials at the end of the week. Until then, maybe I've already got 3 positions. I don't want to get too aggressive here, so maybe I add 1 or 2. But there's a lot of, if you're looking to add positions, a lot of good setups that we just went over here.